Alright, so in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to paint your engine, block, head, transmission, or any other engine parts. For this, all you're going to need is some engine paint and primer. I'm using duplicolors. Some rubbing alcohol, degreaser, a bunch of different brushes to get in all those little tight, hard to reach places, and it's optional if you want, or if you have a Dremel, it'll make your life a lot easier. I got this little assortment pack at Harbor Freight. My goal for this engine is to try and get rid of all that oxidation and, you know, that weatherized look. This is a H23A blue top swap. Valve cover is black because I repainted it a couple years back. I'll only be doing the face of the block on this engine. The rest of it, for some reason, is fine, but it's only that face that I guess when they imported it got all weatherized and oxidized. Step one would be to get in there with your degreaser and brushes and really clean this up. I already did this to mine. It took me a couple hours. It's very important to get all that grease and loose dirt off of it, or else the paint won't stick. After that, you could get in there with your Dremel and wire attachment and get rid of all this loose dirt and whatever you couldn't get with the degreaser and your brushes. Taking your time with this, getting it nice and clean, is going to make a big difference in the end and how long it's going to last and stick to the paint. Here's the first attachment I used. Got most of the stuff off. Now I'm going to switch over to the smaller bit. Alright, after you got all that grease, dirt, and all that junk off the block, you could get your purple scuffing pad and scuff up the whole thing and get it nice and ready to paint. Okay, so after you took your time and really got in there and cleaned the block up and got it ready for paint, you could go ahead and start the cleaning process with your rubbing alcohol and masking off everything that you don't want any paint getting on. Before you start spraying, go ahead and put on your respirator or at least a dust mask. You don't want to be inhaling this stuff, it's pretty nasty. Once you got your block prepped up and masked up, you go ahead and spray your first coat of primer. What I usually do is the first one is a light coat just to tack on, and the second two I do medium, and that usually gives me some pretty good results. After letting that sit for about 5 minutes, you could go ahead and spray your next coat. Now here comes the fun part, spraying the engine paint. You're going to repeat the same process as the primer, just be a little bit more careful. This runs a little bit more easily. Alright, so if you took your time and followed all the steps, you should have a block that looks like it did from factory or even better. Duplicolor actually makes a clear coat for this paint, but for my setup I think I'm gonna stick with a matte looking finish to keep it looking a little bit more original. Just letting you guys know, if you guys would actually like that extra protection, they do actually make a clear coat.